Hey, boom, boom. Hey, everybody. Boom, 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 boom. How you doing? Hello, 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 hello. To the people in the back, tell them, Aiden, say hello. To the people up front, say hello. Happy Friday, everybody. How you doing? Hello, hello. I am so grateful to be here. Y'all, we made it through another week. I know I say that every day, but literally, yeah. Celebrate the win and don't wait to the win. Remember the WIN and don't wait to the WHEN, because to be here mentally, physically, and emotionally well in this season is something to celebrate. I am Lake Moore of More Capacity where the stretch is necessary. Perfection is not the measure, but maturity is mandatory. All right. So I kept thinking what we're going to call this, and it's not going to be capacity news. It's going to be capacity conversations, because we have an opportunity to discuss some things, and hopefully there'll be some more engagement, so that we can just have some dialogue about our maturity process. You guys, if you haven't liked, shared, followed the page, please do. More Capacity LLC. You can also catch us on Instagram at The Lake Moore, or on YouTube at Capacity Words with Lake Moore. But we're going to go ahead and jump in. Hi, Ayana. Let's get started. I like that. Focus Fridays. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Aiden says, whoop, whoop. So tonight, this is our conversation. This is what we're going to discuss. The first step. First step. This morning, right before I opened my eyes, that's what I heard. First step. So literally, before my foot hit the floor, before I began to do anything else, that's what I heard. And it immediately took me to my little people, those of you that have children or that you've watched someone else grow from infancy and then take their first step. You remember the process and what that looks like. In the beginning, it was really reinforcement, having people around them as they grew, and of course they watched other people walk. If they had siblings, they watched them and of course admired them, and eventually said that's something they wanted to do. And some may have walked faster because they wanted to keep up. They had an example. But even still, they had to make a decision at some point. All of us did. That even if we were going to wobble, that we had to take the risk of taking the first step. Quote I want to read for you, and it says, "Take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step." That's by Martin Luther King, the Martin Luther King. But it's so deep. It's true. Sometimes standing up or doing something different or going into the direction where you don't know what's going to happen, it's not in your control. That's the hardest thing, is making that decision of, I'm going to do this. I'm going to start. I'm going to take the risk. I'm aware and I acknowledge that something has to change. And in order for the change to begin, I have to take, you got it, you already know, the first step. Some people are going to ask you, like, well, why are you doing it? Why are you even in this process? What's the benefit? And you may not be able to answer them in the beginning. You may not be able to give them a clear definition of, well, I'm doing this because, or this is what I expect from it. But you have to realize, and we have to realize, because this is me, we have to realize that just like this right here, I told you guys about 50 days ago, almost 60 days ago now, that accountability starts with me. You want something different, you got to do something different. And again, I know that this is my space. And I know and I can see myself in the future, my future self of where I want to be. But in order for me to get there, you can't despise humble beginnings, even when it might seem unstable, even when other people around you may not understand what you're doing. You got to take the first step anyway, because faith, obedience, and discipline is enough. It's enough. Faith, obedience, and discipline. It is enough. So I wanted to also read this to you because in the process, people might, well, you're changing. Who do you think you are? And you're like, what do you mean? I can see myself. I know what the promises are. I know what I dream. I know what fire is lit in me when you are taking that first step in the direction of which you know you're supposed to go. The first step towards getting somewhere is to decide that you are not going to stay where you are. Let me read it again. It says, the first step towards getting somewhere is to decide that you're not going to stay where you are. Think about it. It could be within your spiritual journey, within your mental, your physical, your financial journey. It is literally resolving and saying, I am not staying here. I'm not staying here. I'm not staying here. And the first step is for you to say to yourself, I'm not staying where I am. And then you begin to move in that direction. First steps are hard because a lot of times it's leaving the familiar. It's leaving the comfort zone. And the biggest enemy to that first step is comfort. I remember my little people, as they started to walk, they would get a little scared or they might wobble or teeter on one side. And so it was just so much easier for them just to fall back on their cushion and they would just sit down. And then the people around them would say, no, come on, get back up, try it again. Comfort is sometimes our biggest enemy. We want to be in a place that feels familiar. We want to be in a place that has received us. But you have to resolve that something, yes, if it has to change, that you've got to move in direction of that change. You see, it's inevitable that we're going to make mistakes and that we're going to fall, and that's okay. What happens? You have evidence already that you can either stay in your comfort, or if you continue to move into where you're supposed to be, you know that on that journey, you're going to find cheerleaders. You're going to find people that say, yeah, I believe in you, and I know that you can do it. And on that journey, that is what you will draw. You will draw people moving in that same direction. But you got to take the first step. Let's see, who is talking to me? Well, say it again for the people in the back. Now, what comment are you talking about? Girl, this thing got so good to me. I mean, it really did. I said, wow, it's so true because sometimes it's hard. And then when you start moving in that momentum and you start moving in the direction, the biggest thing is getting over your own self-doubt of, well, am I doing this right? Well, who else has done it before? And validation isn't needed in that first step. When you hear somebody call your name or okay, God, you're pulling me in this direction, remember again, faith, obedience, and discipline is enough. You just got to keep going. I want to leave this last bit with you. Again, you know how it is. I told you we're going to call it capacity conversations or focus Fridays. I don't know what we're going to call Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Ayana, you're going to have to help me with that too. But this says, sometimes the smallest step in the right direction ends up being the biggest step of your life. Tiptoe if you must, but take a step. You want to be healed? Take a step. You want victory in your marriage? Take a step. You want to have a closer relationship with the Lord? Take a step. You want to open that business and begin to follow your dreams? Take a step. Is it time for new relationships? Is it time for you to believe that you literally are worthy of more? Take a step. This is the analogy that I can think of. And hi, Miss Dolores. No, you're not running late. I'm always here at 10:30, Lord willing, unless I fall asleep and have to get back up. But this is what I thought about too is I remember I was 8 years old and I was sitting in a pew and there was a man by the name of Gary Wheeler. And I was attending church with him. And even then, I could hear and I saw things that the Lord would deal with me about. And I had told him early in the day, and I said, you know what? Today is going to be the day that I receive the Spirit of God. The Lord showed me a quick glimpse, and I remember telling him. And then that night, those things began to move and take action. We were in service at 6:00 that evening. And those things began to take place just as the Lord revealed. Gosh almighty. And I remember he just stopped in the service and he said, you know who you are. Just come to the altar. And even though I was 8 and I was nervous and I didn't necessarily have anybody else that I could compare that walk to, I remember taking that first step. And I will tell you that even till this day, it was that step that changed my life, even till now, because that was the first time I knew of the Lord, but it was different because now I began to take steps with him to know more about him. And it was that first step that throughout my life, there was a constant reminder of if I was ever lost and if I was ever unclear, that same first step that I took then was the first step that I could take again. For he was always consistent and he was always there. So that resonated with me again now because it's like, wow, no matter what you do, and we're going to fail, we're going to make mistakes. It all starts again with that one step. Don't stay in the condition that you're in. Don't declare that you have this issue that you can't get over, whatever it is, because he made a promise. And all we have to do, faith, obedience, and discipline. Take the step. All right, you guys. Well, oh gosh. Had to resonate on that one for a moment because that was good to me. If you ever need clarity, if you ever need joy and peace, if you ever want to know if he is still there, because he always is, no matter what, all you have to do is choose to take that first step. And just like Peter, if you get out there and you take the biggest step of your life and you found yourself drowning, not knowing what you're going to do, all you got to do is say, help. And the one that invited you in to take those steps will be there to continue to carry you. God bless you guys. Thank you for being here. Please like, share if you so choose. But again, we are in here for conversation purposes. The accountability starts with me because I will be obedient. I will be obedient. And if the Lord allows, and if there's breath in my body, 10:30, that's the time for now. Because it's 7:00 or 7:30 in California, and some people come on and watch at that time too. But I'll be here, and I thank you guys for being here with me. I am Lake Moore of More Capacity. You know what it is. The stretch is necessary. Perfection is not the measure, but the maturity process is mandatory. God bless you guys. Have a good one. Bye.